Hey everybody, Tony here. I've tried making this video a few times now, and every time it kind of went over the length that allows me to post to Discord. So I figured I'm probably going to do this in two parts. This first episode of how I use unusual whales, I'm just going to run through the features that I personally use, and give you a look into what the platform looks like. And then next week, I'm going to do a breakdown of when I find a chart, analyzing the chart, and then looking at unusual whales and using those two things in unison with one another. So I'm going to try to run through this quick, but not try to rush and make sure I get my points across. So this is the platform. As you guys know, I recently partnered with them. I know a bunch of you guys have actually used my referral code, which is great. I don't make any money off that, but it helps you guys out, and so I'm happy I can help you guys out, save you some money. So thank you guys. Thank you to anyone who's used that. And if anyone ever in the future wants to purchase unusual whales, just let me know and I'll send you that referral code. So anyway, you have a bunch of different features here on the left. This is your live flow. I have SoFi plugged in. As you can see, a lot of different orders show up, but what I like to do, go over to show charts, and it gives you a lot of useful information. You have call put volume, premium call put volume, ask versus bid, premiums, bearish versus bullish versus bearish premium, bullish versus bearish volume. You have the breakdown by expiration. So if you go and hover over it, let's take a look at this week. It shows you the bearish versus bullish comparison. You have 300K to nothing, and that was as of last week, so that'll change this week, but it just gives you some insight into, okay, which direction is the flow pointing at, and it just gives you a gauge on maybe the performance of the stock this week. But again, that'll change. Breakdown by strike price. So for the $15 strike price, you have 830K bullish to 4.5 mil on the bear side. Premium heat map. So this is bullish and bearish. This is just the bullish heat map. So you can hover over it. It gives you the amount and a specific date. So this is July 15th, 2022, and then premium bearish heat map. So this is very useful. What I love to use is this Intraday Analyst. So if I go click on that, it'll bring up the most active chains for that day. So this was from Friday. You can see quite a bit more bullish than bearish on the contracts traded, and then this shows you the biggest options traded for that day. So you can see two 300K orders. One was bearish, one was bullish. I don't pay too much attention to the open interest. And then here you can go and change the date. It'll show you the open interest for this week, volume for this week. You have some news, price targets, which don't mean a whole lot, dark pool volume, which I'll get into next week, how I use that. So this is this interface. This is the Intraday Analyst interface. If you scroll back up and click today's SoFi levels, it will then bring up premiums of $1,000 or more, and it shows you call to put ratio, breakdown by expiration, and breakdown by strike. Now, what I like to do is I like to check what big money is betting on, so I kind of even skip past the $5,000 premium. I'll like to go to the 15,000, 30K premiums and see, okay, what's big money betting on here in the future. And like I said, you can hover over it and get the numbers. So I like to see kind of what are the whales, quote unquote, or what are big money betting on. You can look at the expiration, strike price. And again, unusual whales is just a tool to use to create a plan, to give you a higher probability of success, you should not just be basing your thesis or your conviction off the flow, because sometimes the flow's wrong. So, or an event may happen that affects the market, and there's just a multitude of factors that can factor in. But do not just base an entry, or do not just base your conviction off the flow. Again, it's just a tool to use to give you a higher probability of success. So that's the Intraday Analyst. And then the other thing I love to use is this hot chains and tickers. Sometimes I'll click hide index and ETFs. It'll remove SPY. You can see the most active chains were SPY. You can see SPY 2 million call volume to 2.1 million put volume. But if I don't want to see the indexes, ETFs, I'll just click on this, and we can see Apple was the most active chain. You can see 1, 2, 3 calls and 1 put. It shows you the open interest. So that's very, very useful. And this will show you what's hot during the day in real time, essentially. So very, very good to look at during the day, a little bit after open, to see kind of what's getting a lot of interest and volume. So don't want to drag this on too long, because I will not be able to post it to Discord then. But those are the 3 I use all the time: the live flow, Intraday Analyst, and hot chains and tickers. Next week, I'm going to go over how I find a chart, then translate it over to the flow. What do I look for in the flow? And what kind of gives me conviction that, okay, yes, this chart looks good and there's favorable flow. So again, that just gives me more conviction into the play. If I think a chart looks really good and I look at the flow and it's not favorable, I probably won't touch that, or I'll just go in very light. Same with if it's a bearish setup, but there's a lot of call volume. And I'm looking to play puts, I may play very small. So again, it's just a tool to use with everything else in your foundation of your plan and everything. So don't want to drag this on. Next week, like I said, I'll be doing that breakdown of how I use it when I find a chart. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks.